You don't notice it day by day. Weeks pass, months pass, years pass, and suddenly you realize you are in the same place while the world has moved forward. Technology changes, industries change, opportunities change, but the person who chooses comfort stays the same. And in a fast-moving world, standing still is the same as moving backward. Comfort convinces you to delay your dreams. It whispers, you can start tomorrow. You're not ready yet. Or wait until conditions are better. But conditions are never perfect. The people who succeed are not more prepared than you. They are just more willing to begin while feeling unprepared. Comfort makes you believe preparation comes before action, but in reality creates preparation. Look closely and you'll see this pattern everywhere. People stay in jobs they hate because the salary is predictable. They stay silent about their ideas because they fear judgment. They avoid learning new skills because being a beginner feels uncomfortable. Over time, comfort turns into fear wearing a friendly mask. It doesn't feel like fear, but it controls your decisions just as strongly. Growth, on the other hand, always feels uncomfortable at first. When you step outside your comfort zone, you feel uncertain. Your heart beats faster. Your mind starts creating worst-case scenarios. That is not a sign that something is wrong. That is a sign that you are growing. Discomfort is not the enemy. It is the signal that you are entering new territory. The irony is that the comfort zone was never designed to be permanent. It was designed to be a resting place, not a living place. You rest, you recover, and then you move forward. But many people build their entire lives inside that resting place. Over time, what once felt comfortable starts feeling empty. That is when people feel stuck, unmotivated, or lost. Not because they are incapable, but because they have outgrown their comfort without realizing it. Another hidden cost of comfort is regret. Pain from effort fades. Pain from regret lasts. Trying and failing hurts for a moment. Never trying hurts for years. When you look back on your life, you won't regret the days you struggled. You will regret the chances you didn't take because staying comfortable felt easier. Comfort also shrinks your belief in yourself. When you avoid challenges, you never discover how strong you actually are. You start underestimating your own potential. But every time you do something uncomfortable, even if you fail, your confidence grows. Not because you succeeded, but because you prove to yourself that you can face difficulty and survive it. The world does not reward comfort, it rewards value. And value is created by people who are willing to learn, adapt, and take risks. When you stay comfortable, your skills stay average. When your skills stay average, your opportunities stay limited. Growth expands options. Comfort limits them. If you want a different future, you cannot repeat the same comfortable habits. Change feels uncomfortable because it challenges your identity. It asks you to let go of who you were to become who you could be. That transition is never easy, but it is always worth it. Comfort feels safe, but safety is not the goal of life. Growth is, impact is, becoming more than you were yesterday is. The moment you choose discomfort with purpose, life starts moving again. You don't need to destroy your comfort zone, you just need to stop living inside it. Because everything you want, confidence, success, freedom, meaning life's just one uncomfortable decision away. Failure has been given a bad name. From a young age, we are taught to fear it, avoid it, hide it, and feel ashamed of it. We are told that failure means you are not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. But this belief is one of the biggest lies holding people back from success. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the price you pay to earn it. It is the tuition fee for growth, experience, and wisdom. Every meaningful achievement comes with a history of failure behind it. The problem is that people only celebrate the final result and hide the struggle. You see success and assume it happens smoothly. You don't see the rejected ideas, the wrong decisions, the sleepless nights, the embarrassment, and the moments of self-doubt. Failure is invisible in success stories, but it is always there. Think about learning anything valuable in life. You fail before you improve. You make mistakes before you master. When you were learning to speak, you mispronounced words. When you were learning to walk, you fell. When you were learning in school, you answered questions incorrectly. None of these failures stopped you. They taught you. But somewhere along the way, Society taught you that failure as an adult is unacceptable. That lesson is deadly. Failure hurts because it attacks your ego, not your potential. Your ego wants to look smart, capable, and respected. Failure exposes weakness, and that feels uncomfortable. But growth has never cared about ego. Growth only cares about learning. Every failure carries information. If you are willing to study it instead of running from it, it becomes an advantage. People who succeed are not people who fail less. They are people who fail better. They fail faster, they fail smarter, and they fail with reflection. While others quit after 1 or 2 setbacks, they treat failure like feedback. They ask, what did this teach me? Instead of, why did this happen to me? Failure also builds something success cannot build alone: resilience. When things go wrong and you survive, you become mentally tougher. You learn that disappointment does not destroy you. Rejection does not end you. Mistakes do not define you. This realization changes everything. Fear loses its power over you because you know you can handle the consequences. The reason most people never reach their potential is not lack of talent. It is lack of tolerance for failure. They quit too early. They change direction too fast. They stop believing in themselves at the first sign of difficulty. They want the reward without paying the price. But life does not work like that. You pay first, then you earn. Failure is also proof that you tried. Doing nothing guarantees zero failure, but it also guarantees zero progress. If you have never failed, it usually means you have never pushed yourself beyond what feels safe. A life without failure is not a perfect life. It is a limited one. Another powerful truth is that failure prepares you for responsibility. Success without failure makes people fragile. The first challenge breaks them. But people who have failed many times develop perspective. They don't panic easily. They don't get arrogant easily. They understand how unpredictable life can be. That maturity makes them better leaders, better decision makers, and better human beings. Failure also sharpens your judgment. You start understanding what works and what doesn't. You learn to recognize patterns. You gain intuition that cannot be taught in books. This kind of knowledge only comes from experience, and experience is built on mistakes. Many people avoid failure because they worry about what others will think. But people's opinions change quickly. Regret lasts much longer. Years from now, you will not remember who laughed at you, but you will remember the chances you didn't take because you were afraid of failing in front of them. Failure is temporary if you don't give it permanent meaning. One failure does not make you a failure. 10 failures do not make you a failure. Giving up does. As long as you are learning, adjusting, and moving forward, failure is just part of the process. Life rewards persistence, not perfection. Those who keep going despite setbacks eventually outgrow those who started with more advantages but quit early. Failure equalizes the playing field. It teaches lessons that talent alone never will. If you change your relationship with failure, your entire life changes. You stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what will I learn? Shift turns fear into fuel. It turns obstacles into teachers. It turns pain into progress. Failure is not a signal to stop. It is a signal to grow. Pay the tuition fee proudly because the education it gives you is priceless. Your background is the story you were born into, not the story you are destined to finish. Too many people allow their starting point to define their ending. They look at where they come from, the resources they didn't have, the support they never received, the environment they grew up in, and they quietly accept limitations that were never truly theirs. The truth is uncomfortable but empowering at the same time. Your background influences you, but it does not control you. Your mindset does. Mindset is the lens through which you see the world and your... Two people can grow up in the same place, face the same struggles, and live completely different lives. One sees excuses, the other sees lessons. One sees barriers, the other sees challenges. The difference is not intelligence, luck, or privilege. It is how they think. Many people blame their background because it feels logical. It feels fair. I didn't have opportunities. I wasn't born rich. I didn't study in a good school. I don't have connections. These statements may be true, but truth does not automatically mean destiny. History is full of people who started with nothing but belief and persistence. What separated them was not their background, but their refusal to let it define them. Your mindset decides how you interpret hardship. A weak mindset asks, why is this happening to me? A strong mindset asks, what is this teaching me? One mindset feels like a victim. The other feels like a student of life. Hardship does not break strong-minded people. It sharpens them. They extract lessons from pain instead of bitterness. Background can shape your comfort zone, but mindset decides whether you stay there. If you grow up seeing limitation everywhere, your mind can start believing limitation is normal. You begin to lower your dreams to match your surroundings. You stop imagining bigger futures because no one around you has lived them. But just because you haven't seen something doesn't mean it's impossible. It only means you will be the first. Mindset also controls your response to fear. Fear does not disappear when your background improves. Fear disappears when your thinking improves. Many people with resources still lead small lives because their mindset is small. And many people with nothing build extraordinary lives because their mindset is fearless. Fearless in the mind, not in circumstance. When you believe your background controls you, you hand over your power. You wait for permission, validation, or rescue. But when you believe your mindset controls you, you take responsibility. Responsibility is not blame, it is power. The moment you say, my future depends on my thinking and actions, your life begins to change. A strong mindset understands that skills can be learned, confidence can be built, and intelligence can be developed. A weak mindset believes talent is fixed and success is reserved for a lucky few. This belief quietly kills ambition, but the world today rewards adaptability, learning speed, and persistence more than background. Information is available, skills are accessible. What is rare is the mindset to stay disciplined when motivation fades. Your mindset decides how long you last when things get hard. Background may decide how hard things start, but mindset decides how long you keep going. Most people quit not because they are incapable, but because they get tired of believing. They let doubt talk louder than their dreams. Mindset also shapes your identity. If you constantly tell yourself, this is just who I am, you stop evolving. But if you tell yourself, this is who I am becoming, growth becomes natural. Identity based on growth is powerful. It allows you to change, improve, and adapt without feeling like you are betraying yourself. Another truth is that background can give you excuses, but mindset gives you options. Excuses protect your ego. Options expand your future. Every time you choose to learn instead of complain, to act instead of wait, to try instead of quit, you weaken the power of your background over your life. Mindset also affects how you see other people's success. A limited mindset feels threatened and jealous. A growth mindset feels inspired and curious. Instead of asking, why them? It asks, how can I learn from them? That question alone can change your trajectory. No one is coming to rewrite your story for you. That is not cruelty. That is freedom. You are not trapped by where you started. You are only trapped by how long you hold on to that story. The past explains you, but it does not excuse you from building a better future. A powerful mindset understands time. It knows that progress is slow and invisible before it is fast and obvious. People with strong mindsets don't panic when results take time. They trust the process because themselves. How's people with weak mindsets quit early because they expect quick validation. Your background can give you pain. Your mindset decides whether that pain becomes poison or fuel. Some people let pain turn into bitterness. Others turn it into drive. Same pain, different mindset. At the end of the day, the world does not ask where you came from. It asks what you can do, what value you bring, and how you solve problems. Those answers are built by mindset, not background. You may not be able to change where you started, but you can always change where you are going. And that decision begins in the mind. Opportunities rarely announce themselves with certainty. They do not arrive when everything is clear, safe, and perfectly planned. Most opportunities show up disguised as confusion, risk, and incomplete information. This is why waiting for the perfect time feels reasonable, but quietly keeps people stuck. The truth is simple and uncomfortable. Opportunities reward those who move first, not those who wait. Waiting feels responsible. It sounds smart. People say they are analyzing, are preparing, or waiting for the right moment. But in many cases, waiting is just fear wearing a professional mask. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of being wrong. While you wait for clarity, someone else moves with courage, learns on the way, and takes the space that could have been yours. The world belongs to those who act before they feel ready. Readiness is not a requirement for action. It is a result of action. You become ready by doing, not by thinking. Most people want guarantees before they begin. But guarantees only exist in hindsight. By the time an opportunity feels safe, it is usually gone or overcrowded. Opportunities are time-sensitive. They have windows, and those windows do not stay open forever. Technology changes. Markets evolve. What seems risky today may become normal tomorrow. Early movers get the advantage of learning, positioning, and visibility. Late movers compete in crowded spaces with higher standards and fewer chances. Moving first does not mean reckless action. It means decisive action with incomplete information. It means being comfortable with uncertainty. Life does not reward those who wait for perfect conditions. It rewards those who adapt quickly to imperfect ones. Those who move first accept that mistakes are part of the journey, not signs to stop. Many people miss opportunities because they overestimate the cost of action and underestimate the cost of inaction. Action may lead to temporary failure or embarrassment. Inaction leads to permanent regret. When you don't move, you don't just lose time. You lose momentum, confidence, and belief in yourself. Opportunities also favor those who take initiative. The world notices people who step forward. Employers, partners, and communities are drawn to those who act instead of wait. Initiative signals leadership, even when early attempts fail. The act of trying builds reputation, experience, and resilience. Waiting for permission is another trap. No one hands out invitations to you. Most people who succeed gave themselves permission to try. They didn't wait for approval, validation, or encouragement. They moved because they believed learning was more valuable than certainty. Fear often asks, what if it doesn't work? Courage asks, what if it does? The difference between these questions shapes your life. Those who move first accept the possibility of failure because they value growth more than comfort. Those who wait choose safety over potential and wonder later why their lives feel small. Opportunities also multiply for those who act. One action leads to another. One risk opens doors you never imagined. Movement creates visibility, and visibility attracts more chance. Waiting creates invisibility. The world cannot reward potential, it never sees. Another truth is that opportunity rarely comes back in the same form. You cannot pause life and resume it later. Missed chances often return disguised as harder challenges with higher costs. The earlier you act, the easier the path usually is. Moving first also builds confidence. Each decision strengthens your ability to decide again. Waiting weakens it. Over time, chronic waiting creates self-doubt. You start questioning your instincts and abilities. Action rebuilds trust in yourself. The most dangerous illusion is believing that someone else will take care of your future. No one will. People are busy building their own lives. Opportunity does not wait for you to feel ready. It moves on to someone else who is willing to start. Taking action does not mean you won't feel fear. It means you act despite it. Fear disappears after action, not before it. Confidence is built through movement, not motivation. Life rewards those who step forward when others hesitate. It rewards those who say yes when others say maybe. It rewards those who start while others are still planning. If you keep waiting for the perfect time, you will wait forever. The perfect time is a myth. There is only now and what you choose to do with it. Opportunities do not belong to the smartest, the richest, or the most prepared. They belong to the bold, and boldness begins the moment you decide to move. Ordinary people chase comfort because it promises relief. Extraordinary people chase challenge because it promises growth. This single difference in what people seek quietly separates average lives from meaningful ones. Comfort feels good in the moment, but challenge feels good in the long run. The life you build depends on which feeling you prioritize. Comfort tells you to stay where you are. It encourages routines that require little effort and decisions that involve minimal risk. It convinces you that stability is the ultimate goal. But comfort has a ceiling. Once your basic needs are met, comfort stops adding value to your life. In fact, it starts taking value away by dulling ambition and weakening resilience. Extraordinary people understand something most people ignore. Ease does not create strength. Muscles grow by resistance, not rest alone. Minds grow by pressure, not convenience. Character grows by adversity, not ease. Challenge forces adaptation, and adaptation is the foundation of progress. Ordinary people often ask, how can I make this easier? Extraordinary people ask, how can this make me better? One question avoids pain, the other transforms it. Life does not become easier when you avoid challenges. It becomes harder because you become weaker. Life becomes easier when you grow stronger through challenge. Seeking challenge does not mean living in constant chaos. It means intentionally choosing situations that stretch your abilities. It means doing things that scare you a little, speaking when it would be easier to stay silent, starting when it would be easier to wait, continuing when it would be easier to quit. Comfort gives quick rewards. You relax, you escape, you feel temporary pleasure. Challenge gives delayed rewards. Discipline, effort, and struggle come first. Growth, confidence, and fulfillment come later. Most people choose comfort because they want rewards now. Extraordinary people delay gratification because they understand compounding growth. Challenge builds self-respect. Every time you do something difficult, you prove something to yourself. You stop needing external validation because you trust your own strength. Comfort does the opposite, slowly erodes self-respect because deep down you know you could be more but chose not to try. Ordinary people avoid discomfort because they associate it with danger. Extraordinary people reinterpret discomfort as a signal of progress. When something feels uncomfortable, they don't immediately retreat. They ask whether the discomfort is harmful or simply unfamiliar. Most of the time, it is unfamiliar, not dangerous. Seeking challenge also builds humility. You are constantly reminded that there is more to learn. Comfort creates arrogance because you stop testing yourself. Challenge keeps you grounded and curious. It keeps you learning. Extraordinary people are not fearless. They simply value growth more than comfort. Fear still shows up. Doubt still appears. But instead of obeying those emotions, they move forward with them. Over time, fear loses its control because action proves it wrong again and again. Comfort narrows your world. Challenge expands it. When you choose comfort, your experiences stay limited. When you choose challenge, your skills multiply, your perspective widens, and your opportunities increase. The world responds to people who push themselves. Another truth is that challenge creates meaning. A life without struggle feels empty. Humans are wired to overcome. When everything is easy, life feels shallow. Purpose is found in effort, not ease. That is why people who have everything, but no challenge often feel lost. Ordinary people wait for motivation before acting. Extraordinary people act and let motivation catch up. They understand that discipline outperforms motivation. Challenge builds discipline, and discipline builds freedom. Comfort also makes time slip away unnoticed. Years pass quietly. Challenge makes time meaningful. You remember the hard moments because they shaped you. You remember the struggles because they mattered. Seeking challenge does not guarantee success, but avoiding it guarantees regret. You may fail while chasing challenge, but you will grow. You may stay safe in comfort, but you will stagnate. Growth is never comfortable, but stagnation is painful in ways people don't realize until it's too late. Extraordinary people measure their lives by progress, not pleasure. They ask themselves whether they are becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable. Comfort-focused lives measure happiness by ease, but ease fades quickly. Growth lasts. At the end of life, no one wishes they had stayed more comfortable. People wish they had been braver. They wish they had tried. They wish they had challenged themselves when they had the chance. Comfort protects you from pain, but it also protects you from greatness. Challenge exposes you to difficulty. but it also unlocks your potential. The choice between ordinary and extraordinary is not talent or luck. It is the daily decision to seek challenge over comfort. Extraordinary lives are not built by accident. They are built by people who repeatedly choose what is hard over what is easy. And that choice made daily changes everything. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. The life you want is not far away. It is just uncomfortable. It is hidden behind the decisions you keep postponing, the risks you keep avoiding, and the challenges you keep telling yourself you'll face one day. That day is not coming on its own. You have to step into it. Comfort has never been your enemy in obvious ways. It didn't stop you loudly. It didn't tell you to quit. It simply asked you to wait, to relax, to stay where things feel familiar. And while you were waiting, time kept moving. Opportunities kept passing. Potential kept sleeping. But here's the truth most people never face. Staying the same is a decision, and every decision has a cost. You don't need a new personality, a perfect plan, or permission from anyone. You need one brave moment. One decision to move when your mind says wait. One action when fear tells you to stay quiet. One step when your comfort zone begs you to turn back. That single step is how every powerful transformation begins. You will never feel completely ready. Readiness is a lie. Comfort tells you to keep you safe. Growth begins when you act without certainty. Failure will happen, but failure will teach you. Struggle will come, but struggle will strengthen you. Pain will appear, but pain will shape you. None of these are signs that you are doing something wrong. They are signs that you are finally doing something meaningful. Look at your life honestly. Not with guilt, not with shame, with courage. Ask yourself if the habits you repeat are building the future you want, are protecting the comfort you've outgrown. Ask yourself if fear has been making your decisions for you. Because the moment you take responsibility for your choices, you take back control of your life. The world does not reward intentions, it rewards action. It does not care about how much potential you have, only how much effort you are willing to give. And the good news is this, effort is always in your control. When this video ends, nothing magical will change around you. The same challenges will exist, the same doubts will speak, but something can change inside you. If you let it, you can choose discomfort over regret, growth over safety, action over waiting. 1 year from now, you will be somewhere. The question is whether you will be proud of how you got there. Don't let comfort decide that for you. Step forward, start now, and don't look back.